What's up, brothers? Welcome back to Red Wolf Roundtable, where we talk about nothing but special teams, special plays, and special players only on Friday.
That was pretty good. I like that.
Okay, welcome back to Red Wolf Roundtable here on ASU TV. I'm Tristan. This is Cooper. You already know who we are. If you don't by now, go back and watch previous episodes. We're back in our stopping grounds in the ASU TV studio after doing a successful show from the Johnny Allison Tower in Centennial Bank Stadium. Cooper, I think it was a fun experience.
It was really fun. You know, I'm up every football season. I'm up there all the time. You are too. Where it's kind of like, all right, I'm here to do roundtable. I'm not here to get ready for a 6 o'clock kickoff. So it was fun to do roundtable, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Cooper, but speaking of Centennial Bank Stadium, the soccer team actually had their final spring expedition against Harding University inside of the stadium, and we got some highlights, and dude, it was just a really good experience to see the team play a match in the stadium. They won 2-1 against Harding. Harding's goalkeeper was electric all night. She had a couple big blocks, a couple saves. It was really fun to experience, especially being that close up to the net. But the biggest thing from this takeaway that I have of this game is, how many more times can the soccer team realistically do this?
When you're thinking about soccer, they really play during the heat of football getting ramped up. So having night games will be tough there just due to the fact it's football season coming right up after their season gets over with. So they're going to be, football team's going to have a bunch of late practices. You know how football teams are. They get superstitious. They want to be practicing on their home turf. So I would say it's highly unlikely. I feel like you'll just start seeing more exhibition games getting played there.
Right, but never say never.
Yeah.
Aaliyah Williamson in that game, she had 2 goals, of course, 1-2-1, scored the 2 goals for the team. But looking at the soccer team from this kind of early on spring expedition against Harding and, all the other teams, Cooper, maybe who's a way too early player to watch for you?
I mean, the person who scored 2 goals, Aaliyah Williams, she didn't have the best season last year, but, playing a team like Harding, you're going to be able to have more success than when you are in conference play. So it's good to see her really get going, and, it's just going to be exciting to see if the Red Wolves can get back to that championship ground, because our freshman year, they were on a roll, and it feels like they had a slight decline. Their offense stalled a lot last year. So if they can get their offense back and not have to really rely on parking the bus on defense, then we could see a very successful soccer team this year.
Yeah, Cooper, and one of the things is, and I get the season's a long way away. We still have summer vacation to go through and, work our part-time jobs, come back, get ready for soccer. But this team just has something special about them. While I was on the field close to them, to hear Coach Dooley kind of go over some game plan with them, there was really this close-knit bond that I haven't really seen from the soccer team, of course, doing the ESPN Plus productions, whatever. But there's just something about this team, whether it's on social media, whether it's, at the scrimmage nonetheless, or just at the practices that, I've gone to, you've gone to, whatever. They just seem like they're one tight-knit group. And, usually when that happens in sports, championships usually follow. Of course, the last time they won the Sun Belt Conference, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was 2020, year before we got to Arkansas State. So I'm excited to see where Coach Dooley and the girls go to this regular season. I'm excited to see the schedule when it comes out and, just see where it all lies.
Yeah, and we have a busy, busy Saturday coming up.
We do. Not only did soccer have an expedition the other day in the football field, but Saturday we have tennis, track and field, the spring game,
and baseball.
And then baseball. And the spring game's kind of the one big highlighted circled there.
Yeah, the spring game's going to be very interesting because people are going to be like, all right, how has Jalen Rayner progressed? How has he gotten better since last year? Because he came in as a freshman, did really, really well. And so now he has a full year under his belt. He played in a bowl game. How has he progressed? How is the offense going to progress this year and not stall out on drives? Like, we would see him, we would go downfield, score, next offensive drive, quick 3 and out. We were never really consistent with the offense, and it's going to be interesting to see how new transfer Malik Hornsby, I know we mentioned this last week, but Malik Hornsby transition from quarterback to wide receiver. So we have a lot of things to watch coming this Saturday.
Well, not only that, but you got to look at the defensive side of the well and the special teams unit. I mean, there's been a couple big transfers that have entered their name into the portal from Arkansas State. Dominic Zavada, who scored the first 2 points for the Arkansas State Red Wolves last season, the 3 against Oklahoma, the 3 against Memphis, total of 6 points.
No, he scored 3 against Memphis, and we got shut out against Oklahoma. Because he missed 2.
Oh, that's right. See, this
2.
is why I keep you around.
Yes.
You keep my mind in check when it goes crazy. But Dominic Zavada, he was one of the ones that was the leading scorer on the team last year for the football team. But the biggest thing is I'm not excited, not surprised to see Dominic Zavada enter his name in the portal because let's be real. Kickers at Arkansas State have great legs and they go on to do better things, a.k.a. Blake Grupe.
Yeah, he went on to Notre Dame, and then we got to see the star in Dominic Zavada shine. So hopefully we can keep Dominic around because he's such a good kicker. Like, he was really, really reliable. He was able to hit it from 50-plus out, but he might be seeing, all right, look at Blake Grupe. He went to Notre Dame, then he signed with the Saints. Yeah, he didn't have the best year, but he really shined in the preseason. So hopefully Dominic Zavada is kind of looking at that and saying, all right, how can I get to the NFL?
Right. Not only that, but you got to look at the competition, too, that the spring game's going to hold. Of course, you're going to have the quarterback battle between Flowers and Rayner. Rayner, of course, having the seniority, kind of more experience with the Arkansas State system in. But I don't think a lot of people are going to understand how this is going to expand the offense, just having a guy that can really throw it deep like Flowers and a guy that can move the ball like Rayner, especially with the guy like me that you mentioned, Malik Hornsby, on the roster. Because, I believe we mentioned it last week, but the Wildcat formation,
yeah.
I would be excited to see Coach Jones and Coach Heckendorf implement that into their system. But I don't think they will. You know how coaches are. They want to stick to their system, their way or the highway. But, a guy can dream. But, Cooper, are you going to be at the spring game?
I will be.
Okay, well, I will see you there. So we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we got some congratulating to do right here on Red Wolf Roundtable. See you guys.
I think one of the things I learned at Arkansas State was life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you respond to it, and that's just something that I live by.
A-State is home, and they're going to treat you like you're a part of the family.
Students should watch ASU TV just to see the creativity that a college student can get. The creativity that some of these students have is truly amazing. Getting that experience can really just take you further, and I feel like our program does that for a lot of students.
Welcome back to Red Wolf Roundtable here on ASU TV. And Cooper, we got some congratulating today.
We do. We really do.
Dr. Jim Patchell has been inducted into the Arkansas Track and Field Hall of Fame. Wow.
That's very much so. I mean, if you don't know much about our track and field team, just know they dominate the Sun Belt every single year. They win championships in the Sun Belt, and, this is very much well-deserved and earned.
Yeah, just talking to some of the track and field stars that we know, Coach Dr. Jim Patchell has always been kind of that role model for them when they needed it most. So, especially with the legacy that he's had at Arkansas State, I'm not too surprised to see that this is coming. Only surprises is it should have happened sooner.
Yeah, and I heard there's the ceremony for him will be in North Little Rock. I can't remember the exact date, but they'll be honoring him in Little Rock. So, state capital, it's going to be cool to see him get what he finally deserves.
Right, Cooper, but mentioning the track and field team, we also have to mention the Alumni Classic that is happening today and tomorrow.
Starts at 3 o'clock today, I believe, and then they'll start at 9:30 for the running events, and then 10:30 in the morning is when the field events get started for the really big time Saturday with everything going on, but it's going to be fun to watch this team who's coming off an indoor championship, see how they can translate all this success they had indoors into the outdoor area. You know, when I was at the indoor championship earlier this year, I was like, is there a difference when you're running indoors and doing events indoors? And they said, yes, there's a big difference, because when you're indoor, there's an elevated surface around the first turn, each turns at the end. And so they said that has a big factor, because you're kind of running uphill and then you're running downhill just a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see how they can translate all their work to the outdoor aspect.
Right, with the Alumni Classic, I do believe this is the inaugural Alumni Classic, so I'll be interested to see how the event kind of elevizes from today or this year until, the years go by. But, it's really interesting to see that they're getting this here in Jonesboro, because, we've had talks about maybe the Sun Belt Conference having their championships here in Jonesboro, maybe First National Bank Arena. But now you're seeing track and field get some more love and some more stuff to do here in Jonesboro. So I love to see it.
Yeah, and the only problem with A-State not being able to host a Sun Belt championship is because if you go to soccer and you look around, there's no lights. There's no lights, and with you're having all these teams here, you would have to crunch so many events in such little time, and we need lights out there. So soccer doesn't have to play at 2 p.m. during the big heat wave Arkansas has at the end of the summer every year, and we could start seeing more night games. We'll be able to host a lot more. And you're looking at it, ULM gets to host the Sun Belt Conference Championship. I'm not even going to go on that right now, but ULM, they get to host it. So there's no reason that the team that's consistently winning the Sun Belt doesn't get to host it, because, well, there's no lights.
Right, and really quick, we do want to also mention that the Red Wolves finished 5th in the Sun Belt Conference Championship for women's golf. Mm-hmm. That's another program that's on the coming up for the Red Wolves. So excited to see they got placed 5th. Wish they would have placed 1st, but, baby steps.
Yeah.
Baby steps. But we're going to take another short break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about Arkansas State athletics right here on Red Wolf Roundtable.
I think one of the things I learned at Arkansas State was life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you respond to it, and that's just something that I live by.
A-State is home, and they're going to treat you like you're a part of the family.
Students should watch ASU TV just to see the creativity that a college student can get. The creativity that some of these students have is truly amazing. Getting that experience can really just take you further, and I feel like our program does that for a lot of students.
Welcome back to Red Wolf Roundtable here on ASU TV. Now it's time to go back to the hardwood and talk about the men's basketball team. And some coaches got elevated, Cooper.
They did. We had 2 coaches. First off, it was T. Butters. He got promoted to associate head coach. Congratulations to him. As well as Jamie Quarles got promoted to associate head coach as well. So shout out to those 2 guys.
Right. Coach Hodgson said on Twitter that they had a dynamic flame to the roster and kind of the coaching staff. So glad to see that they are, officially got the associate head coaching jobs. Again, just excited for the basketball season next year. But, the Red Wolves, they've been hunting the transfer portal a little bit.
They have been. They're nonstop doing everything out there in the transfer portal. And we did get a commit this past day. Cody Head has signed with the Arkansas State Red Wolves. He's going to be a big-time player, and I'm excited to see what he can do.
Right. Coach Hodgson made it very aware at the end of last season that they were going to go out and get some dogs.
Yeah.
And right now, with the guys that they've got out of the portal, they got some dogs. Now, I know maybe some stats may not show it, but especially somebody like Colby Head, that is very good for the Red Wolves.
Yeah, we've had 3 guys come out of the transfer portal right now into Arkansas State. So hopefully, Freddie Hicks, if you're watching, you should come on back. There's something special brewing here at Arkansas State. You don't need to go anywhere else. I know you might want to, but don't. You have a great head coach. You got great assistant coach. You got great players around you. So if you stay here, probably win a Sun Belt Conference championship. That's all I got to say about that.
What's their current tagline on social media? Unfinished business?
Yeah, unfinished business.
Freddie Hicks, if anybody has unfinished business, it's you, my friend. So
Yes.
just come on back to the Red Wolves. But, Cooper, looking at how Coach Hodson has gone out to the portal and got guys like Colby Head, like the guy out of Ole Miss, what does that show for the program here at Arkansas State?
It shows that even with the NIL deals that we don't really have as much as bigger schools, that we can still go out and get players, because Coach Hodson, he's such a good recruiter and he's even better as a coach, and they're really buying into his system. He knows how to get players. He has the experience. When he was at Alabama, he was like, I was there, went on good March Madness runs. That's what I'm trying to do here. I mean, we saw James Madison go into the tournament and win a game. So why can't it be the Red Wolves that to be the next big time, quote unquote, Cinderella, but we won't really be surprised when they go on that run?
Right. I mean, it's one of those things where I'm just excited to see if anybody's going to do it next season, it's going to be the Red Wolves.
Yes, it really is, because, I mean, even the women's team right now, Coach Des, she's doing a bunch in the portal. I mean, she's all over Twitter. She's saying, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet. Just got another person. I'm not done yet. But even Coach Hodson, he's not done yet.
So, Cooper, my biggest question for you is why does Jonesboro and Arkansas State University have an appeal for an athlete that may be in the transfer portal?
I mean, it all comes down, this is how it is for football and basketball. We have such top quality equipment and such top quality coaches that, you know, you're looking at it. Our locker rooms are some of the best up there with the Power 5. The equipment we have, the weight rooms we have, just everything about Arkansas State really appeals to players that are like, yeah, Jonesboro, love it. I go to college here, but not the most appealing place. I mean, you drive out here, just a bunch of farm fields, but I feel like people see that and really see the people that live in Jonesboro, the passion they have for it. This is their hometown, and I feel like players see that and they're like, you know what, this is a good place to come to get to that next level.
Right, and another big thing with it is how quiet it is. I mean, yeah, when you're a college kid, you want to get out, you want to do a lot of things maybe, but when you're an athlete, the fact that you're able to come to school, focus on your academics, then go home and not have to worry about any really big outside noise. Of course, you're going to have an occasional Twitter troll here or there. It's really nice. I mean,
Yeah.
I cannot speak on an athlete's point of view because I'm not an athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at me. They're far from it. That's why I talk about it here on Red Bull Roundtable. But I just think from an athletics point of view, just to be able to have that sense of nature, sense of quiet, and sense of comfort, that's kind of always going to be a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a bunch of good history. Track wins a lot, bowling's up there, football. Last 3 years wasn't the best, but they're always in contention for winning the Sun Belt Conference, and now basketball's on the uprise. So you're seeing a bunch of sports here at Arkansas State really take that next step in saying the Sun Belt Conference isn't a conference that you can just look at and be like, oh, a bunch of cupcake games. These are teams on the rise and really starting to figure out, all right, this is what we're going to have to do with the NIL to get just really lost my the Sun Belt. Yes, the Sun Belt is doing what they need to do with NIL to be a top conference.
Well, Cooper, we got to do it now that you messed up.
Yeah.
That was a dummy moment. But, you know, I just think in the grand scheme of things in the long run that Jonesboro, while yes, it has its flaws and yes, it has its kind of perks and disadvantages, there's something special about being able to build something within a program. There's something about doing something that not a lot of people have done. So to come to Arkansas State, to maybe win a Sun Belt Conference championship, and even in basketball, make an NCAA tournament that's only been done once here, that's, always going to be something special because, look at guys like C.J. Pepper and Chico Fletcher. They were on that tournament team, the only tournament team in Arkansas State history, and they still get remembered by older fans. They still get remembered by people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s that even may have kids say, hey, when I was in school, this was one of the all-time greats at my university. So
yeah, and you're looking at Arkansas State's fan base in general. It is an older fan base. When you go to the games, you will see it's a lot older, but at the same time, we're seeing a transition to a new generation of people that are really proud that they went to Arkansas State. They're coming to the games, they're coming to football games, and they're showing that, this is what we have to do. We have to show out, support our college. I know there's a college up in Fayetteville a bunch of people like to support, but they're coming back, and we're seeing a brand new generation of people come to Arkansas State.
Well, Cooper, you know what the old saying is. There's something about that old-timey money that speaks louder than words. But we're going to take another short break. When we come back, we're going to preview the weekend series against Appalachian State right here.
I think one of the things I learned at Arkansas State was life is 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you respond to it, and that's just something that I live by.
A-State is home, and they're going to treat you like you're a part of the family.
Students should watch ASU TV just to see the creativity that a college student can get. The creativity that some of these students have is truly amazing. Getting that experience can really just take you further, and I feel like our program does that for a lot of students.
Welcome back to Red Wolf Roundtable here on ASU TV. Now it's time to talk about the weekend series, Appalachian State versus Arkansas State baseball. It's time to put me in, Coach, because I'm ready to go today.
You're ready to play today?
Yes, I am.
All right. Earlier this week, we had a game against Ole Miss that got canceled out. Got rained out. You're seeing the field was just absolutely destroyed. And you know what? We had a winning record against them. I just got to bring that up.
They did.
We didn't get to see Carmack throw his perfect game like you were calling, but now it's time to look at App State, and the Red Wolves, they haven't been hot.
Well, I want to add a little bit more context to the whole rain out against Ole Miss, if we can put that picture back up there in a second. But the rainstorm that happened when Arkansas State was going to play Ole Miss, there was a lightning strike that struck the football stadium.
Really?
And it made the speakers kind of give a lot of feedback and kind of have a lot of issues. Hopefully they can figure it out. But that's just one of those moments that it's so rare that you don't hear about it happening a lot, that you just have no chance but to talk about it. Because, let's be real, y'all. When's the last time you're going to hear about something striking in a touchdown at Arkansas State University? That's not the Red Wolves. But the thing is yes, it rained out against Ole Miss. Yes, that sucks that you can't play an SEC caliber school. Hopefully beat them, go 2-0 on the season. But you got to think that fired up the team to not be able to play Ole Miss, that they're going to come out Friday, they're going to use all that momentum and energy towards Appalachian State, and it's just going to be a good one.
Yeah, we're really hoping so, because we only have 4 conference wins right now. It's not looking the best. All you have to do is start winning series. You don't have to sweep them. Now, it would be nice to get a sweep, but winning the series, you just have to win 2. You can win tonight. You can take Saturday off if you want to, lose that, and then go out and win Sunday. But the starting pitching just hasn't really been there for the Red Wolves.
Right, and here's the thing. When you look at the stats of the pitching, and we'll get to that in a second, it's just it's questionable, because you got Yelly Vanderlei that's starting on Friday and Dylan Hine that starts on Sunday. They haven't named a starter for Saturday yet. But these two pitchers are the guys that have kind of the most innings pitched, and Dylan Hines actually got the better ERA. So,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's different when it comes to their weekend series and who they want to throw on what days, but I just feel like it would be more of an advantage for the Red Wolves to throw a guy like Dylan Hines out there when he has the better ERA.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to think, you want Dylan Hine out there to close off the series to get that win, but you also might want to see a little transition to maybe Dylan Hine being that Friday starter. The Friday starter, that's the big time guy. That's your best pitcher. And for looking at ERA, Vanderlily, he has 5 up there. He's up there with 5, and Dylan Hine is at a 2.5. So when are we going to see that transition to, maybe swapping the two? Jelly's a great pitcher, and maybe he will do a lot better on Sunday, because when it gets to Sunday, you've already played 2 games of baseball. You're kind of exhausted. You're ready to get this series over with. Maybe Jelly would perform better on Sunday instead of a Friday.
Right, and you just got to look at the statistical comparison between these two schools in Sun Belt Conference play. I mean, 26 home runs to 9 is terrible.
Yes, that's bad.
10.1 hits to 7.5 is terrible. 102 strikeouts to 84 is horrible.
Yes.
I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and grill the A-State baseball team, because we all know when I grill things, then that's when everybody watches the show. But I just think in the long run, at this point of the season, you got to start looking at yourself in the mirror, and you got to say, okay, I get maybe I didn't have a good outing last series against South Alabama. I get that maybe they walked it off in Game 3 and won 2-1 in the series. But at what point do you, as an athlete, a Division I athlete at that, take a long look in the mirror with your coaching staff and your pitching staff and say, okay, what can I do to get better? What can I do to benefit the team? Not what can Coach Raffo do to kind of change things up and still get blown out 15-2? What can an arm do to efficiently place balls in the zone to where hitters aren't guessing exactly where they're pinpointing and hitting it 102, 103 off the bat, even if it's just a foul ball?
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very tough series because, like you're saying, our pitching really hasn't been there. And App State, as a team, has almost been batting .300. So it's going to be tough. We're going to need our bullpen to do good. And hopefully Vanderlily tonight can really go deep into the game, maybe pitch about 6 or 7 innings where we don't have to use up our bullpen. We've seen it too many times where we get our starter to go out there and they get shelled in the first 3 innings. Next thing you know, we're having to go deep into our bullpen, and by time Sunday comes, we have a bunch of arms that aren't really ready to go because they've been having to go out there and pitch so much.
Right. And look, I get A-State baseball has kind of been the laughingstock of the A-State athletic programs here as of late, but it's one of those things where even if they're not winning, you still got to support them. I mean, yes, I get our whole entire show premise and job is to come out here and give you everything about A-State athletics, but at what point does it kind of get like you're beating a dead horse a little bit?
Yeah, because since we've been here, we haven't really seen a good baseball team. It's last year. They're doing better than last year, I would say. Maybe. They started off a lot better than they did last year, but last year we're fighting for when are we even going to win a conference game? When are we even going to win a series? So if we're going to win a series, it has to start on Friday, and that's the game they play the worst in. I mean, I've seen so many times they've gotten run ruled in 7 innings have been on Fridays, so we need a good outing tonight from Vanderlily.
Right, and of course, as always, you can catch these games on ESPN+. Brad Bubba and Andy Shatley will have the call tonight.
Yes.
And your boy's going to be under the microphone Saturday and Sunday. Sorry, I just had to.
No, I hope you get to call a much better game for the Red Wolves.
Yeah, but anyways, this has been a great edition of Red Wolf Roundtable. This is going to be the last episode this semester where we actually have a sit-down style at the desk giving you everything about A-State athletics. Next week, though, be sure to tune in because the Red Wolf Roundtable Award Show comes back right here on HGTV. See you guys.